What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dustin here, back with another video. Listen, I'm so glad that y'all are here on this channel. I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to speak to y'all and really just make an impact on this community. And yeah, this is something that I'm really passionate about on this channel, and I love y'all so much. And I'm just super stoked to be here and making another video for y'all. Listen, guys, I need to keep it 100 with you, because regardless of what the play is in our playbook that we're running today, we have to be honest with ourselves. Things are not always going to go smoothly in this life. Unexpected things are going to happen throughout your days, and that's just what the deal is. That's just what happens. So listen, so having said that, either way, we have to drive the nail in this piece of wood called life. We have to do this thing, guys. We have to build the house of our future. We have to continue to push on. We have to make this thing happen either way. It's going to happen. We have to push everything that's going on aside, all the distractions, and really just hone in on what our craft is, what our responsibilities are, who we want to become. Okay. My brother Soul, man, shout out to Soul, man. He just dropped a video yesterday, and I always talk about his channel. I know I do it a lot, but he introduced this concept of going into the darkness, right? Being at this party, and then all of a sudden a door opens up. The champagne's popping, the champagne bottles are popping, the glasses are being filled. There's all this stuff going on, right? Millions of dollars around us. And he said, but when that door opens, that leads to darkness. Honestly, only 2 to 4 people, only 2 to 4 of you are going through that door. And that dark door is the unknown, is what we don't see, right? It's that future. And then he starts talking about the unknown, the unknown future. What could possibly happen in our future? What could possibly be placed before us? And man, Soul he lays it out, but I won't get too much more into it than that. But it's a crazy concept, right? So in other words, what we have to realize is we have to take the risk. We have to put ourselves in a dark place. We have to eat what we got to eat. You know what I mean? We got to eat crap for a while and just, eat shit for a while and just do it. It just has to be done. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. It's about the man you become. So Soul, in this video, he was talking about the man you become, right? And to all you ladies out there, you too, absolutely. It's about who you become in the process of the journey. And you start to realize, something that spoke to me is you start to realize you change. As a person, you've changed so much, and it's like, wow. It's like there's so much negativity in the world, and there's so much happening, and it's hard to like really sow your seeds at the end of the day and really, pick the crops and enjoy them, because that's what we want, right? We want that soul food. We want that immediate gratification. We want a little bit of cut of that paycheck. We want a little bit here, a little bit there. We want that free, um, you know, free bone they throw us for for whatever. We want the give and take, the ebbs and flows. We want at least something to be credited to us. And essentially, that's the benefit of doing what you love when you love it because you love it, is that the ideal goal is to not have to work, like quote unquote work, do things you love full time. And if you're doing what you love full time, is it really work? And that's the argument, that I see come up in the world nowadays. But that aside, going back to the unknown concept, right? You become a different person. And I've seen myself become that person. And I think in high pressure situations, I'm still a little bit, rough around the edges. I need that sander to get me nice and fine around the edges. But I think that has more to do with other people responding, or like responding negatively to negative environments or environments in general, and then ultimately how I react. So there's two sides of that. As far as reacting, I think I've got that sorted. I don't think I react anymore. Like, I'm that different person. So, I try and be 100% positive. I can fully say that. And then there's the other person too, which you can't fix. I think that's the only part where I struggle, is I see the person in front of me struggling, and I wish they would respond or communicate in a more positive way. But damn, I mean, you're not going to get that all the time. So it's just about being around the right people, just putting out that positive energy. And a lot of people, they won't even talk to you, because nowadays it's that's the cool thing to do, is text, and there's no face-to-face interaction. I like face-to-face. That's why I do these videos. So I like hearing people's voice too. That's great. So excuse me, get a little drink of water there. So ultimately, becoming another person, right? That just happens through this process of an enlightened mind and that life experience. And in this video that I watched, he talks about really not hitting rock bottom per se, as much as sacrificing what we see as godly things, what we call God. And all credit to Soul for this, because the way he put it was incredible. But we sacrificed those things, like the glass of champagne, the bottles are popping, the stacks of money, this and that, right? And we sacrifice that for the experience. We sacrifice that for the person we become. I'm thinking about this, I'm like, shit, like, this man's on game. This man's put me on game. That's why I say he's a brother, man, because he is. Like, how many people do you know talk like that? It's crazy. And I strive to talk like that more, but see, a lot of people are they got the horse blinders on, so they don't see, they don't think that way. And I'm like, man. So he talks about this trade of knowledge and wisdom, and that person you finally become, that you were meant to be. You've got all the game, all the resources here, from from all these people who have been around and have life experience. The CEOs, the entrepreneurs, whatever, they pass it down to you. So, but you're on their mindset up here. You become a different person now. They've given you the tools of the trade. Now you're ready to take your sword into battle with the tools and the lessons that you've learned to actually build it. I remember another video where Soul talks about the builder. You know, the builder putting himself out there, and it's this this story about a builder who trusts this girl Evelyn. And man, it's such an incredible story. But you know, the builder had the resources, and essentially other people like Evelyn took things from him, was stealing the resources away from him to go out and build these homes. And lo and behold, this builder had it figured out because he had gained the wisdom from his grandmother before she passed away. She had given him game. And I'm trying to remember the last words she said to him on her deathbed, but man, it was incredible. It was an incredible story to hear. But that's how you know that, you know, stepping into the darkness was the right thing to do, because you're making that trade, right? You're making the trade for the wisdom, the person you become, for the material. I think I ultimately sacrificed everything, and I'm kind of like on this downward trajectory of like sacrifice, right? Boom, you know, um the ship sinking. You know, it's filling with water quickly, and I think the previous man I was trying to plug all these holes, right, in the boat, plug all these holes in the ship. But even if you watch Pirates of the Caribbean, you'll notice, you know, at some point, you know, like even the man, I gotta sneeze. Even the colonial like head soldiers were, at some point they're just like, man, this is it. You know, our ship's getting taken over. That's why the crew's there, right? To update the captain on the condition of the ship. And usually the captain pushes. He's like, man, we got this, you know, fight back. Barbosa's like, fight back, you know, or Jack Sparrow, whoever. But man, it's like, I think I had for so long been the man who was trying to plug all the holes in the boat and the ship. And when I just needed to let it sink, you know, I don't mean like, when I say that, I don't mean like completely let go of everything to the point where your life is destroyed. I just mean like let go and let God, or let go and let the higher power, let go and trust yourself that you're going to do the things that need to be done. That's why I'm talking about these tools. It's being able to do the right thing in the right situation, having the right state of mind. And that is the game changer. And it was for me. I think that the way we perceive things has everything to do with if we're going to last the journey. You know, man, when I'll go back to Pirates of the Caribbean real quick, but when they were on their way to Davy Jones' locker and they were making that trip, and Barbosa was manning the ship, you know, or he had the map there. They kind of had it was an upside down world. They had to turn the map around. They had to flip the boat, and all of a sudden up was down and down was up. Remember that? And I think that's how I feel now. I see down as up. I see my downs are my ups. The good times are still good. I love those times. But I think when you're on the bottom, you only have up that you can go. And for so long, it bothered me and bothered me. But when there's nothing you can do about it but become a better man, if you're going to be sitting in that mud, you might as well become a better person. I mean, if it's the last 5 seconds of your life and the quicksand is taking you, you're getting ready to go and this and that, right? Aren't you going to want to become the best person, have the best possible mentality before you go? You know, become the best person, know you became the best person possible, the man, the woman you were meant to become in your last few seconds of life. That is what's crucial. That is what I've learned, is that is important. And you can't put a price on that. Nobody can take that from you. Okay, there's no, how we have this crisis of the US dollar going on right now. Currency, what is it worth because of the debt we're in? 36 trillion, whatever the debt is, I don't know. And then we're talking about like remaking the dollar, getting rid of the penny. We talk about currency, what is it worth, da da da, and stock market, blah blah blah. So essentially, that becomes your currency. Who you are as a man, who you are as a woman, the person you become. Nobody can take that from you, and actually, you can actually pay for things with this currency, but it's not like you would think. It's more like an exchange. So you kind of pay it forward. You pay a good deed forward. You pay who you become forward, and then the people around you become your brothers and sisters. Now you have a community, and when you have a community, people who share this like mindset, you have an unstoppable force of people who come together and they get through life together. And that's why I'm here, because I'm here to be that for y'all and here to be that for myself. So I'll be honest with you, the day did not start. Things did not go 100% how I wanted them to go today. And I was like, okay, cool. But we have to work things out and make the best of our day and communicate with those people on our team. And when you're solo, when it's just you, when you're out here battling the demons, you're slaying the dragons, listen, become that man, become that woman that Soul was talking about, because I'm telling you, it will change your freaking life. I'm sitting here right now, the world around me is freaking out. I'm chilling, man. I don't have to be chilling. I could be worried about everything. But I'm sitting here thinking about this man that I've become. And you have to, ladies, you too, you have to ask yourself about this person you become. Was it worth it? Was it worth the sacrifice? And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, yeah, it was. It was worth everything. It was worth everybody I lost. It was worth everything I lost, because it's who you were meant to become. This is not the destination we've reached. This is about us not reaching the destination. This is about us gathering the tools, gaining the mindset, becoming the person we needed to be, being around the mentors that we needed to be around, your grandmothers, your parents, your siblings, your mentors, the people who have been on this earth alive longer than you, the people who have served in Vietnam, Iraq, who have been through unspeakable wars, and out of that have carried a mindset of solitude and kindness and paying it forward. And then you get to the point where, okay, now you have the resources. This is just the beginning of the journey. Now you have the resources to get to where you want to go. And you're captaining the ship, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boat. It's not my boat. It's not up to me to tell you where you need to go. That's your job. This is why I don't understand why people, like people outside of you and I, right? Because I know y'all got the same mindset that I do, and you're on board with me. I don't understand why people want to control others, worry about what others are doing. No. There's no point. All that energy goes back into yourself, becoming who you need to be. So, in closing, okay, in closing, the point here that I'm making is that we need to focus on ourselves and the end goal of where we want to be with our lives. Talked about it in the last video. Somebody's upsetting you, just forget about it. Don't even pay attention to them. They're not even worth your energy. Because by the time 4 o'clock hits, 5 o'clock hits, you punch out of work. You're on your way home. That person's left the vicinity. That person has left the household. That person has left the car. That person has left the mall you were shopping in, or the bathroom that you were in, or has crossed your vicinity at the park, and it's been hours. 4 or 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, that doesn't matter because you chose not to respond to that negative energy. You chose to be a bigger person. It's about your journey. Okay? Now, there were some negative things that happened this morning, and I'm looking at myself. But I chose to be positive, and that's the point here. I love you, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you on this channel. See you in the next video. Remember, stay positive. Peace.